All right, so today I want to answer the million-dollar question. Is the freight broker business, is the trucking business a business that you can make a whole lot of money in? And I'm going to answer that with the simple answer of yes, absolutely. This is a $700 to $800 billion business the trucking industry is. So yes, you can make a whole lot of money in this business, but that's not the question in my opinion. The better question that you should be asking is, how do I, as a new truck driver, how do I, as a new freight broker, a new dispatcher, whatever side of the business you come into, how do I access that money? And a lot of people, they are waiting for the product to arrive. They're waiting for the business to get started. You're waiting to say, oh, I'm going to wait until I get my motor carrier authority. I'm going to wait until I get my license before I start talking to customers. I'm going to wait until I get my truck before I start talking to potential customers. That, my friend, is the wrong answer. If you're waiting till the product to arrive, then you really don't understand business. No one in their right mind is going to wait until they get the product, till they get the truck, till they get the motor carrier authority, the broker's license. Nobody's going to wait for that to happen. At least people are not going to wait for that to happen who understand. They are going to go out and put in the legwork. They're going to start talking to customers before they set up their business, before they get into the business, because now they can look at it and say, hey, man, I've already lined up 5, 6, or 7 customers that are willing to work with me. Right? A lot of people I see come into the business and they say, oh, I'm starting on day one. I got everything set up. I got my truck, or I got my motor carrier authority for my freight brokerage business to go live. And now I'm going to start to look for customers. I think that's backwards. I think that you should start to put in the work before that ever happens, because then you walk into it with an understanding that you already have customers lined up. You already have customers that have said yes, that are willing to work with you. And now you have everything set up. You hit the ground running. Whereas if you don't do that and you just go in based off a hope, a wish, and a prayer that you're just going to get these things and things are just going to start coming together for you, usually 95% of the time you end up failing, because it doesn't work that way. It don't work like, I'm just going to go in and say, oh, okay, now I got everything set up. Now is the time to start going out and get customers. That is probably the most backwards thing I've ever heard of when it comes down to business. And I understand that people do it that way. They don't want to go out and start talking to people a lot of times before they get everything set up. But that is the part of business that you have to understand, and understand very early on, that that's what's going to make you. That's what's going to help you to get this thing off of the ground and running at the pace that you want to run at, right? That's going to help you to get the business moving or get the momentum that you need. Once day one hits, you already have customers that are ready, willing to work with you. If you just wait, I'm going to wait until I get all of this stuff set up, then on day one, you certainly aren't going to be making money. I want to make money on the day that I start my business. Now, of course, it's going to take a while for you probably to make money, right? Because you make money based on what you know, who you know in this business. If you don't know anybody, and if you don't know anything, then your money probably is going to mirror that, right? So the more you know, the better your IQ is as far as the trucking industry is concerned. You hear people talking about he has a high football IQ. He understands the game, right? Do you understand the game of trucking? Do you understand the game of the freight broker business? If you don't understand the game, if you don't have a strategy, then you can't access the money. Right? Yes, there's a whole lot of money in the business. It's $700 to $800 billion industry. The question is, can you access the money? Do you have the expertise? Do you have the knowledge to access the money? Most people don't, so they won't make a whole lot of money. So your money is going to mirror the knowledge that you've acquired, the contacts that you've acquired. So start that before the business is ever set up. Go ahead and start to put those things in motion so that when you get set up, then things are more fluid. You're able to operate a business seamlessly without a whole lot of times where you're going through where you're just sitting idle, right? Because you don't know what to do. Start that process before the business even gets started. And then when you hit the ground running instead of being in the crawl phase, right? Because you don't want to stay at the bottom for too long, right? Because that's going to discourage you. That's going to put a whole lot of doubt in your mind. You're not going to have the confidence that you need, because one of the biggest things in this business is having the confidence to communicate with people, to talk about your business, to get things going. And once you get it going, once you get the business going, then it's much easier for you to keep moving forward. Well, when you're stuck and you're mired in the mud, doubt sets in and you're not going to move forward. You get stuck. And then it's not too long that you say, you know what, this business is not working and I'm going to give up. I'm going to quit, or I'm going to try something else. Well, really and truly, you haven't tried this long enough yet. You didn't try to do this the right way. So when you did do it, you gave it a half-hearted effort, right? You didn't put your all, you didn't put your best into it because you didn't have a good plan to start the business. Everything is about planning. Everything is about what you do before you start the business. That is what helps determine how successful you can be when the business actually starts. Yes, it's a lot of money in trucking. The question is, how do you access it? And I'm telling you right now, you get access to the money through your knowledge, through your understanding, through the strategies that you apply coming into the business. And these things need to be pre-planned. We don't wait until to get the business started and then start planning. We start the planning part before the business ever starts. That's what I wanted to share with you today. Certainly hope this information has been helpful. If you want to learn more about the freight broker business, I'll leave a free link in the description. It's my 5-video series, and it's titled How the Load Movement Process Works. Gives you an up close and personal look at the business so you can see how it works before you come into it. And then if you're interested in getting your load board, we operate using TRUCKSTOP's load board. It's the best load board in the business, in my opinion. I'm going to leave you a link in the description box that will give you 1 month free. 1 month that you don't have to pay for. Just use that link and you'll have access to that free month. Have a great day. Have a great rest of your week. See you all the way at the top of the mountain, because the bottom is much too crowded.